Every time you press the gas pedal, thousands of tiny explosions happen inside your car's engine. Controlled, precise, and incredibly fast. But how does fuel turn into motion? How do pistons, valves, and spark plugs all work together to move your car? Today on Techie Tales, we'll break down every part of a car engine, step by step, and uncover the engineering magic that powers every ride. Most cars use a 4-stroke internal combustion engine. Internal combustion simply means the fuel burns inside the engine itself. The engine repeats this cycle thousands of times per minute. The 4 strokes are: 1. Intake stroke. The piston moves down, opening the intake valve. Air and fuel flow into the cylinder. Imagine filling a small chamber with a precise mixture of gasoline and air. 2. Compression stroke. The piston moves up, compressing the air-fuel mixture. Compression makes the tiny explosion stronger, producing more power. 3. Power stroke. The spark plug fires, igniting the fuel. A controlled explosion pushes the piston down. This is the moment energy is converted into motion. 4. Exhaust stroke. The exhaust valve opens. The piston moves up again, pushing out burned gases. And then the cycle starts again over and over, thousands of times every minute. In fact, in a standard 4-cylinder engine running at 3000 RPM, each cylinder completes 50 power strokes per second. Pistons move up and down, but your wheels spin in circles. That's where the crankshaft comes in. It converts the piston's vertical motion into rotational motion, which travels through the transmission and finally to the wheels. Think of it like a seesaw turning into a spinning wheel. All this happens in milliseconds, every cylinder firing perfectly timed with the others. The synchronization is what keeps your engine running smoothly. Engines are made up of dozens of components that all work together. Camshaft and timing belt controls when each valve opens and closes. Without it, the engine loses timing and could crash. Spark plugs, tiny but essential, they ignite the fuel mixture at precisely the right moment. Cylinder block and heads, the core structure that houses pistons, valves, and guides airflow. Cooling system, circulates coolant to prevent overheating, because combustion produces a lot of heat. Oil system, lubricates moving parts, reducing friction and wear. Exhaust system, pushes out gases safely while reducing noise and emissions. Engines also come in different configurations. A V6 engine has 6 cylinders arranged in a V shape. A V8 engine has 8. More cylinders usually mean more power, but also more fuel consumption. An engine is basically a machine that breathes, burns, and pushes. Air enters through the intake, mixes with fuel in precise proportions, and ignites in controlled explosions. Some engines use turbochargers, which compress incoming air to fit more oxygen into the cylinder. More oxygen means bigger explosions, which means more power. Fuel efficiency depends on how well the engine mixes fuel and air, the combustion timing, and the design of each cylinder. Combustion creates a lot of heat. Without cooling, engines would warp, seize, or even melt. That's why cars have radiators and coolant systems to remove excess heat. Lubrication is equally important. Oil flows to every moving part, reducing friction and wear. A properly maintained engine can last hundreds of thousands of miles. Neglect your oil, and you risk serious damage. What makes one engine more powerful than another? Cylinder count. More cylinders equals more power strokes per second. Compression ratio. Higher compression equals more efficient combustion. Turbocharging. Forces more air into cylinders, boosting power. Fuel type. Premium gasoline can allow slightly higher compression for performance engines. All these factors work together to determine acceleration, fuel efficiency, and reliability. Modern cars don't always rely purely on internal combustion. Hybrids pair engines with electric motors, recovering energy from braking and assisting the pistons. Electric engines, meanwhile, skip combustion entirely, converting electricity directly into rotation. But even in hybrids, understanding the gasoline engine is the foundation of how most cars still work today. And that's how a car engine turns fuel into motion. Thousands of controlled explosions, perfectly timed, all working together to power your ride. It's simple in concept, but incredible engineering.